Santa Claus is a New Yorker of Dutch descent who emerged in the early part of the 19th century. Christmas in New York in the late 1700s was a riotous affair, and the only seasonal gift you were likely to be given was a punch on the nose. Middle-class New Yorkers fancied a more sober celebration, and in 1804 the antiquarian John Pinted founded a historical society and hit on the 4th century St. Nicholas, patron saint of children and gift-giving, as the benevolent new symbol of the city. The date of St. Nicholas's death, December 6, 343, had been widely observed in Europe throughout the Middle Ages, and especially in the Netherlands, where to this day 5 to 6 December is still the principal occasion for present giving, when Sinterklaas and his politically incorrect helper Zwarte Piet, Black Pete, dish out rewards to good children. Pinted took these traditions and grafted them onto the celebration of Christmas in New York, where a large part of the population was of Dutch heritage, with Sinterklaas, itself a contraction of Sint Nicholas, emerging as Sankt Claus. At this point, images of Sankt Claus as drawn, for example, by the artist Alexander Anderson for Pinted's St. Nicholas Day dinner in 1810 were still in black and white and decidedly episcopal, showing St. Nicholas in one frame and some sleepy children hanging up their stockings next to the fireplace in an adjoining one. The church and commercialism were starting their 200-year-long battle. Sankt Claus was quickly fleshed out in the years after 1804, first by Washington Irving, who made fun of Dutch traditions in his History of New York, and then, crucially, in the 1823 poem A Visit from St. Nicholas. Published anonymously in the Troy Sentinel, the poem was later claimed by Clement Clarke Moore, though some scholars believe it was written by Henry Livingston Jr. It was this poem, better known as The Night Before Christmas, which heralded the modern notion of Santa Claus. The poem gave us the reindeer, so up to the housetop the coursers they flew / with the sleigh full of toys, and St. Nicholas too, and a potent image of Santa. He was dressed all in fur, from his head to his foot, / and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot, / a bundle of toys he had flung on his back, / and he looked like a peddler just opening his pack / his eyes how they twinkled. His dimples, how merry, / his cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry, / his droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, / and the beard on his chin was as white as the snow, / the stump of a pipe he held tight in his teeth, / and the smoke, it encircled his head like a wreath, / he had a broad face and a little round belly / that shook when he laughed, like a bowl full of jelly. The jolly, impish, ho-ho-hoing Santa, a contrast to the more severe European figure, who was quite likely to give naughty children a whack with a cane, was born. But he was not yet dressed in red, and was more likely to be apparelled in an unappealing shade of brown, though plenty of other colors featured too. In an 1864 edition of The Night Before Christmas, a curiously feline Santa is pictured in a fetching shade of yellow, even his sack is yellow. The tradition of him wearing red began in the 1870s with the American cartoonist Thomas Nast, who introduced the red suit and cap, white fur lining and buckled black belt.